You do not get abs, you reveal your abs. You can't make them, they are there already. You have abdominals right here, right now. They are just probably under a layer of fat. And most of us, a lot of us, store body fat in our abdominal area. Most men carry weight in their bellies, and a lot of apple-shaped women carry a lot of their weight in their midsection. So it's not uncommon for us to find it quite difficult to see our abdominal muscles. And that's why there is this whole mystery. That's why having abs is like a bit of a status symbol. It's an indication of getting either really lean, really fit, really in shape, quote unquote. And so if you are more of an apple-shaped female or a general typical male who carries weight around his midsection, it may be a little bit more difficult for you to see your abs, but they are there. And so the process of getting abs is generally one of extreme fat loss to the point where that layer of fat over your ab muscles is thin enough or at a low body fat percentage enough that you can then see your abdominal wall underneath that layer of fat. And so what does it take to get six-pack abs? Well, it takes a diet that is low enough in calories for you to see consistent fat loss. You would need to lose enough fat for that area to show. Now, on a pear-shaped woman, her abs may show quite easily. Some people have the genetics where their abs, the actual ab muscles pop out more, they're more forward, they press against that fat. And so the minute the fat is a little bit less, there is an ab muscle pushing against it. Some people's ab walls are a little bit more in or recessed, and so it also depends on how you are built. But in general, for most of us, end of the day, what it takes is fat loss to the point that you are lean enough to see your abs. Now, you can obviously build that ab muscle up, but if the fat is still too thick over there, you won't see them. And so you can do crunches. It's not that crunches are useless. It will build that muscle, but that muscle cannot build beyond a certain point. It's not like a huge muscle like your glute, your quad, your shoulders. You know what I'm saying? So yes, you can build your abs, and if you're on steroids, you can build them even further. Eat a low-calorie diet, eat a healthy diet, exercise. But in general, to see fat loss, you wouldn't need to do 1,000 crunches or 1,000 sit-ups. So that is a myth. Also, all these kind of things where you sweat it off, you can't sweat off fat in one certain area, so don't worry about that. There is no tea, there is no hormone balancing pills other than actually truly getting your hormones balanced by a doctor. You could do that as well. But again, you would need to eat in a caloric deficit no matter what your hormones are doing. Whether your hormones are in perfect balance or not, you still need to eat in a deficit for you and for your weight, your age, your size, your height. All these things do play a factor in how fast you can lose the weight or your basal metabolic rate. It is a question of working out how many calories you would need to eat to maintain, and then you would just create a small deficit, and you do that over a period of time, and you will see your abs. Ideally, you want to pair that with some exercise so that you can eat enough calories for health. You don't want to go so low that you're depleting yourself, crashing your hormones eventually. You know, over time, if you eat too little for too long of a period, you will feel weak, sick, lethargic. Your thyroid hormones could go too low. There's a whole lot of things you don't want to happen if you eat too little or too few calories. So that's why I say keep up your exercise, eat in a reasonable deficit, and you will see fat loss. And then depending on how much fat is over your abs, once you get down to that point where the fat is low enough that you can see your ab muscles, then you will reveal your abs.